Caitlin Clark's entrance to the WNBA has not just made waves on the court, it sent ripples through the entire sports economy, changing the game for women's basketball and its audience. Drafted as the #1 overall pick by the Indiana Fever, her rookie season has been marked by staggering statistics reflecting both her skill and her draw as a player. This excitement around her contributes to what some experts are dubbing Clarkonomics. Dr. Ryan Brewer, an associate professor of finance at Indiana University Columbus, took it upon himself to crunch the numbers surrounding Clark's influence. His findings are nothing short of astonishing. After revisiting his data multiple times expecting to find some errors, Brewer confirmed his numbers. Caitlin Clark is responsible for about 26.5% of the WNBA's activity. This includes key metrics such as attendance, merchandise sales, and television viewership. The numbers are so staggering they don't even seem real, Brewer stated. Every time he ran the calculations, he reached the same conclusion. To put it simply, 1 out of every 6 tickets sold for WNBA games this season is linked to Clark's mere presence on the court. A 300% increase in total television viewership can be attributed to her games, and remarkably, 45% of the broadcast value reportedly stems from the Fever's contests. Sales of WNBA merchandise skyrocketed by 500%, with Clark at the forefront, leading the charts against her rookie counterpart, Angel Reese from the Chicago Sky. Attendance numbers tell another story of her impact as well. The Indiana Fever attracted over 17,000 fans on average during the regular season, achieving the unprecedented milestone of surpassing 300,000 fans for the first time ever. On average, Clark's games had around 1.2 million viewers, a figure that's 199% higher than non-Clark WNBA games. Beyond the league, the economic footprint of Clark's arrival has been significant. Brewer estimates her contribution to the city of Indianapolis alone to be upwards of $36 million. While this amount pales compared to the $400 million boost the city enjoyed during the NBA All-Star Game, it's still impressive for the impact of just one player within the span of one season. Before anyone gets too excited, there's the sobering reality of Clark's financial compensation. While she generated enormous revenue and drew unprecedented interest to the WNBA, her salary stands at $76,535. This is minuscule compared to her male counterpart, Victor Wembanyama, who was paid $13.8 million during his rookie season, 184 times more than Clark. This financial disparity raises important questions about how much Clark and other players of her caliber are truly worth compared to what they're being paid. According to John Holden, Associate Professor of Business Law and Ethics at the Indiana University Kelley School of Business, such inequities highlight the need for change. Yes, it would make sense for Indianapolis to lock her up long-term at $1 million a year. But the Fever and the WNBA can't simply hand out those deals, even if that's market value for Caitlin Clark, he stated. There are strict regulations surrounding rookie contracts governed by the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, capping salaries at $76,535 for first-year players. Nevertheless, the buzz around Clark has the potential to reshape the financial dynamics of the league. The question remains, will the WNBA's financial structure adapt to reflect the contributions and pool of players like Clark? Just hours after the 2024 season ended with the New York Liberty securing the championship, the WNBA Players Association moved to opt out of their current bargaining agreement. This decision, which will effectively end the term set until 2027 after the 2025 season, aims to bring about change to wage structures across the league. The current minimum salary is $64,154, with the maximum at $241,984, which averages out to around $120,000. While Clark may currently be enjoying the limelight, the call for more equitable pay structures continues to resonate within the WNBA community. Players feel the need to leverage Clark's success to push for more transformative changes. Without collective action and negotiation, addressing these disparities may be harder moving forward. Yet, the turning tides of interest and financial viability for the league definitely owe much to figures like Clark, who seem to be catalyzing support through direct contributions. Dr. Brewer made it clear, one player alone cannot change the financial structures within sports leagues, no matter how great they are. They can, nonetheless, ignite the flames for larger shifts, creating pathways for future or current generations of women basketball players. Finally, the future of women's basketball could hinge on the support and recognition of stars like Caitlin Clark, as the WNBA is at the cusp of transformation with rising revenues, thirstier markets, and rabid fans. Analysts wonder whether this momentum will prove sustainable. Will they invest in the female game thoroughly to reward players who help level the playing field? That seems to be the question of the hour. While the long-distance shots and the nifty ball handling skills often got plenty of airtime on SportsCenter, one underrated skill that Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark has is her passing ability. And according to her teammate, Lexi Hull, it's definitely something that shouldn't be overlooked. In a conversation with Nekias Duncan and Steve Jones on The Young Man and the Three, the 6'1" guard discussed Clark's ability to thread the needle and get the ball to her open teammates for several easy buckets. What sets fantastic court generals apart from run-of-the-mill point guards is their ability to see plays unfold before they happen. All the great ones, such as Magic Johnson, John Stockton, and Jason Kidd, had this unique ability to anticipate what would happen next and make the perfect pass in advance. Clark, the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, is no exception. Despite being known for her scoring prowess since her stint as an Iowa Hawkeye, she also has a keen eye for finding her teammates in the right position to score. In fact, her passing ability is something that Hull had to get used to. "I definitely got passes and tried to finish when I wasn't expecting to get the ball," Hull shared. Whereas before, the former Stanford star would cut or hustle in transition to try and get easy baskets, but to no avail, this past season, she had her fill of those, which allowed her to score in double figures 7 times. So now it's like, okay, every cut I have, every cut I make, every fast break I run, I have a real opportunity to get the ball, which definitely, took me a second, Hull said. And I think it really just took one of those to really get my head around, oh, she's all the way down at the other end of the floor, and she could still make the pass to me down at the block at this end. If there's one blemish on Clark's spectacular rookie season, it was her turnovers, as she averaged 5.6 a game. Hull explained that some of that could be attributed to Clark and the rest of the Fever getting used to each other on the court. Everyone sees the game a little differently, right? So, I might see the cut, and I might think she sees the cut, but also, the post could be seeing that lane and trying to post up. So it's like trying to make sure that all 5 people on the court are reading the defense the same way so that we're all in sync, Lexi remarked. It took some time, but the results were spectacular when Caitlin and her teammates earned one another's trust. As a matter of fact, Clark had a sensational string of games wherein she had double-digit assists in 8 of 9 games. Clark finished her rookie campaign averaging 19.2 points, a league-leading 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. Indiana University finance professor Ryan Brewer, who specializes in valuation, told the Indy Star that he estimated Caitlin Clark to be responsible for 26.5% of the WNBA's league-wide activity for the 2024 season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television. Brewer went so far as to estimate that 1 of every 6 tickets sold at a WNBA arena can be attributed to Clark. Meanwhile, Clark's WNBA salary this past season was $76,535. Her salary in 2025 will be $78,066. It's not just the WNBA that is cashing in big off of Clark's underpaid presence, according to Brewer. The professor also estimated that Clark brings more than $36 million to the city of Indianapolis economy per year. The numbers are so staggering, Brewer told the outlet. They don't even seem real. Clark's impact on the WNBA product and earning potential showed up in very clear indicators throughout the season, especially in the playoffs. After Clark drew a WNBA record 1.84 million viewers to her first playoff game against the Connecticut Sun on September 22, while competing with an NFL Sunday, she followed it up with another record audience of 2.54 million viewers for Game 2. Clark and the Indiana Fever lost both those games, however, sending Clark home for the offseason. After Clark's team was eliminated, the first game between the Aces and Liberty, a rematch of last year's WNBA Finals between two of the league's most popular and successful teams, drew an audience of 929,000, ESPN announced, 50% less than the Fever's Game 1 against the Sun. Meanwhile, Game 1 of the Sun Lynx series had an audience of just around 650,000. Both of those games have also fallen well behind some of Clark's regular season games in terms of viewership. In early September, Clark's Indiana Fever played in front of a TV audience of 1.26 million viewers in a game against the Minnesota Lynx that was played at the same time as a Week 1 Friday night NFL game between the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers. In Clark's first regular season finale against the Washington Mystics on September 19, a total of 20,711 fans that showed up at Capital One Arena set a new record for the highest attended WNBA regular season contest. Clark made the Fever the most watched team in the WNBA by a landslide in her rookie year, as the 14 most watched WNBA games of the season all included the Fever. Clark's teammate, point guard Kelsey Mitchell, told reporters in September that Clark is the reason she has more attention and fans. "I think the reality of it is that I don't think people would know without Clark," Mitchell said when asked about getting more attention and fans this season. "She's done an unbelievable job of bringing her own fans and people that support her, but, for me, I kinda laugh at it and I embrace it at the same time because I always flew under the radar. I've always kind of been that person that is very conservative, very introvert, so now I get to see the flip side of it." The Indiana Fever is writing an exciting new chapter with the return of Stephanie White as head coach. The strategist, who previously led the team to the finals in 2016, is back to spearhead an ambitious project centered around Caitlin Clark. At just 22 years old, Clark has already proven to be one of the WNBA's most promising stars, leading the team to the playoffs for the first time in 6 years and becoming the first player to win Rookie of the Year unanimously. This initial success has set the foundation for a bright future under White's leadership. Clark enters her second WNBA season under the rookie contract she signed in 2024. While her post-season debut ended prematurely, her loyalty to the Fever has remained steady. For White, retaining a player of Clark's caliber will be crucial in building a competitive team with championship aspirations. Clark's decision to stay with the Fever will depend on how the team supports her competitive drive. White's experience in championship scenarios could play a pivotal role in ensuring Clark remains in Indiana when she becomes eligible for a contract extension. In addition to keeping Clark happy, White aims to secure the return of Kelsey Mitchell, a critical component of the Fever's offense. Averaging 19.2 points per game in 2024, Mitchell remains one of the league's most consistent scorers. Meanwhile, the team is setting its sights on Anissa Morrow, a promising LSU star who could be selected in the 2025 draft. Morrow's inclusion would deepen the team's roster, combining her dominance in the paint with the perimeter excellence of Clark and Mitchell. With White at the helm, the Fever has all the ingredients to dream big. The combination of youth and talent in Clark, Mitchell's leadership, and the potential addition of Morrow offer a promising future. If everything falls into place, this team could not only return to the playoffs but also become a true contender for the WNBA title. Could this be the season where the Indiana Fever soars to glory? With Stephanie White in charge, the sky's the limit. The duo's chemistry that developed away from the court translated well into the hardwood, helping Hull have the best season of her WNBA career. She averaged a career high in points, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage. USA Today reported that Clark, Hull, and Katie Lou Samuelson all went to Mexico with their respective partners during the Olympic break. The teammates even appeared together in several TikTok videos after the regular season concluded. Being close to arguably the most famous female basketball player in the world today, Lexi Hull has had a first-hand view of the pressure around Caitlin Clark. In last Tuesday's conversation with Annika Jess on She'4 Sports Convos with the W, Hull had nothing but praise for her teammate in handling her fame with grace. "It's really awesome to get to know her as well, because, she's a great person, but you all have these expectations put on her and our team has put on her and fans have put on her. So to see her kind of be so mature in that transition, it's been really awesome," said Hull. "And I'm just proud to have her on the team and it's been exciting." Cole will participate in the inaugural Unrivaled League in January next year. She will be joining other WNBA stars, including Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, and Angel Reese in the 3x3 League. Clark was also offered to participate in the league, but she declined the offer, opting to focus more on golf during the WNBA offseason. Clark has joined 2 Pro-Am tournaments since, having the opportunity to team with the likes of world number 1 Nelly Korda and golf legend Annika Sorenstam.